So finally, literally after months of what felt kind of like an in-between period where the message from this channel remained the same, we finally got a confirmation of exactly what we wanted to hear from the Fed. Now, at the first part of today's massive Fed meeting, we saw a huge spike in prices. And out of nowhere, everyone was saying, send it all. If you go on Twitter, everyone was like, there was a ton of people saying, yes, up only, let's go. And that's because the Fed did something really crazy today. I'm going to explain how what the Fed said today makes it extremely, extremely clear how to invest over the next few months and exactly when to buy the bottom at on Bitcoin, Ethereum, and stocks. This, to me, has clarified so many things and driven what I feel like is that final little nail into the trading strategy coffin here. So listen to this. The Fed said at the beginning in their minutes, they released some minutes that said that they were going to take into account all of the totality of information, including the fact that there was some cumulative effect of the Fed policy as well as lagging indicators. That's what the market sort of decoded to say, hey, look, they're actually going to start pivoting because they're taking into account all these lagging indicators. They're looking forward, blah, blah, blah. Well, guess what? Once Jerome Powell actually came up on the stage and started talking, the truth came out. And the truth is that, yeah, they're taking stuff into account, but the stuff they're taking into account is not that good. Now, there's one good part of this. There's one slightly dovish part of this. Dovish meaning the Fed might be less intense on trying to hurt the markets. That piece of information is that they said they might start lowering the pace at which they increase the interest rates. So today they got a 75 basis point hike. They might lower it to something like a 50 basis point hike, either the next meeting or the one after. Now that should have been seen as positive. The problem is that they actually said that inflation is coming in way higher than expected still, even after almost a year of this quantitative tightening talk. Literally November of last year was when we had the quantitative tightening begin. And now we're getting a year later, Jerome Powell inferring that we haven't made that much progress on inflation. And moreover, that the actual rate of interest that they're going to make their way to is higher than they originally thought of. So it went from very, very quickly, people seeing the minutes, seeing the statement and saying this is dovish, meaning they think that the Fed is going to start allowing assets to grow again. That would mean dovish would mean buy stuff, in the short version. And then hawkish would mean sell stuff, like get out. And then all of a sudden, people were joking that the Fed didn't pivot to being dovish. They pivoted from being hawkish to more hawkish because as the press conference went on, it became clear that they're going to keep cranking the interest rates. Inflation is not under control. Like we've been saying on this channel, inflation's not under control. The data doesn't support a pivot. The job market just came in just extremely hot. Unemployment is like at complete lows. So what you're having is services inflation starting to creep into the picture, meaning that instead of just the cost of like oil or energy or bread or whatever, you're having actually services starting to cost more. And so that's kind of one of the things they want to prevent against, because once services start costing more, everything starts to cost a tremendous amount more. And that adds to inflation because people are making more money and then spending more money. It's a cyclical thing. So very simple, very simple. The Fed came out and said, we are going to risk over tightening. And if we break something and if we over tighten, then guess what? We'll fix it by printing money. That to me has been my base case of what I thought was going to happen. I was phrasing it as something's going to break. They phrased it as over tightening. Same thing, right? If you go too far and then something falls apart and then you need to step in and fix it, that's something breaking. And so to me, what I'm seeing out of the Fed right now has been a very, very clear communication. They're going to push with everything they can to lower inflation. They're going to hurt the markets. They're going to try to take away from the labor market, and they're going to try to depress the economy until inflation comes down, which we have not seen data of yet. Now, you could maybe predict out and say, well, in the future, it's probably going to come down. But all these predictive models have been completely bogus. Remember the predictive models that had the pivot in August? Granted, I thought we were going to pivot in late summer, but we didn't get the progress on inflation. Inflation is structural right now. It's not coming down. And instead of playing this game of trying to say every time, every meeting, which is like, it's starting to become obnoxious, the amount of people that were yelling at me on Twitter saying, you're too bearish, bro. Like, they're obviously going to pivot. Inflation's coming down. Like, what data are they looking at? Stop listening to just people's opinions and start either looking at data and analyzing it, or at least taking in the opinions of the leading experts in the field, people like Darius Dale, people like Wifey, people like the other people I've been looking at who have nailed this market and nailed almost every move of the market. And it's like, if you're data driven, you see that the Fed is not getting the green light to start putting more money into the economy. They're doing the opposite, and it's looking like their measures are not as successful as they wanted. So with so much cash, so much savings, so many jobs, so little unemployment, and inflation running wild, the Fed absolutely must create more pain. Now, what's great about this is that they've just flipped this onto easy mode. It's been the case that I've thought they were going to break something and step in and start fixing it with money. Jerome Powell literally said that today. He said, we're going to over tighten, and it's okay if we do, because we're going to step in and we're going to fix it and print money. So now there's no more guesswork. The only thing that you have to do, and remember, I've done so much content about this, you have to do the one thing that nobody wants to do, which is you just have to wait, right? No one wants to wait. Everyone thinks max pain. Have you heard people say max pain is up? Everyone's short, max pain is up. Yeah, maybe for like a split second like we had today where people were shorting coming into this meeting. So max pain was up like, I don't know, like a tick. But then you get the complete fall off when reality sets in that liquidity is going away, money's going away, and less money equals lower prices and assets. It's going to be easy. The Fed's going to break it. They want to break it. They've said they're going to break it, and then they're going to fix it. And God bless them for fixing this problem that they've created, right? First of all, fixing inflation, which they created, and then fixing the fix to inflation with more inflation. You know, it must be nice to be the Fed, but they're so obviously have no ability to do anything but just break the economy or overheat it. They don't know how to do things in any kind of predictive manner. So nothing's priced in. They don't know how to predict. Everyone else saying that they're predicting a Fed pivot is not living in reality. They're not living in the data. And all we have to do is wait for them to break something. It'll probably cause a nice crash in the markets. And then that'll be the time. And once they announce, hey, we're here to fix it. We're coming in. We're the firemen. Get in the red truck and put out the fire by spraying endless amounts of money all over the economy. Pack your bags, get into assets, and ride the new bull market. That to me feels like an absolutely simple way to view this. Again, I could be oversimplifying. I could be wrong. You should never be using this channel as your only source. Please use it as just an initial start to your research. I have not been right about everything, that's for sure. But I'm very, I think that this market is shaping up to be a little simpler than people are giving it credit for, with the hardest possible thing being forcing you to wait. As always, I promised you, the project that I founded, Superfarm, is relaunching. You can check it out. Those announcements have started to be made over there on the Twitter. Please check out the Twitter and follow there for updates. I'll make a video explaining the relaunch as it happens here in just a few days. As always, thank you so much for watching. Smash that like button. Let me know what you thought about my video the other day, yesterday or the day before, about 5 things you can do to make money and create a portfolio to take risks in this next bull market. They're things that I believe anyone can do. And do you want more content like that? More content, not just about saying like when to buy or what to buy, or like my strategies on buying and overall strategies on understanding crypto, but then also that layer of like how to set up your life to take the risk in crypto and stocks and real estate and other assets, how to set up a life where you can afford to lose some and eventually win big when things do go your way, because it's a probabilistic game. Let me know if you like that kind of content. As always, please smash the like button and subscribe. We'll be doing our best to keep you out of hot water and hopefully set you up nicely for the next bull run. Thank you so much. I'm Elio Trades. Oh, one last thing. I have a morning show every day at 9 a.m. Pacific on Twitter. Come check out my Twitter. It's in the link below. You can rewatch the old episodes. They're pinned there. It's been an amazing type of content. I really enjoy it. Come tune in live, 9 a.m. Pacific, Monday through Thursday, and I'll see you soon. Elio Trades. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Elio Trades, and I'll see you very soon on the next episode. Peace.